Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, The End of a Hollywood Fairy Tale. It was one of Hollywood's most beloved love stories, a romance that inspired millions, an Oscar-winning actress, a country music superstar, and a marriage that seemed unbreakable. But after 19 years, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's fairy tale came to an end. The news shocked the world, but behind the headlines lies a story of love, loss, and resilience. This is the story of how one woman's heart broke and how she rose again. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, The End of a Hollywood Fairy Tale. In 2005, at the Day LA event celebrating Australian talent, two stars met, and the universe seemed to pause. Nicole Kidman, one of the most acclaimed actresses in the world, had just weathered years of heartbreak. Keith Urban, the charming country singer with a velvet voice, was a rising star from the same homeland. When their eyes met, something shifted. Keith later admitted he was too shy to call her for months, but when he finally did, sparks flew. By June 2006, under a golden Sydney sky, Nicole walked down the aisle in a pale ivory gown, smiling through tears as she married the man who made her believe in love again. Their early years were a mix of glamour and grit. For months into their marriage, Keith entered rehab for alcohol addiction, and Nicole stood by him. She once said, "Love is staying even when it's hard." Together, they welcomed two daughters, Sunday Rose in 2008 and Faith Margaret in 2010. Nicole called motherhood her greatest joy, and Nashville became their sanctuary away from Hollywood chaos. For years they seemed invincible, walking red carpets hand in hand, whispering inside jokes, celebrating anniversaries with warmth and laughter. Keith often told interviewers that Nicole's love saved him. Nicole said Keith gave her the peace she'd prayed for. But somewhere along the way their lives began to drift. As Nicole's career soared with projects like Big Little Lies and The Undoing, Keith toured endlessly across continents. Still, every anniversary, every public moment they appeared united. Until one day the silence grew louder than the smiles. By mid-2024, fans noticed fewer posts, separate events, long stretches apart. Rumors began to swirl. Were they living separate lives? And by September the answer would break hearts around the world. The world saw perfection. But behind the scenes the cracks had begun to show. Friends said the distance between Nicole and Keith wasn't sudden. It was slow, silent. The kind of drift that happens when two people are always busy, and rarely in the same room. Nicole was filming across Europe. Keith was touring the US. Different worlds, different schedules, different rhythms of life. By early summer 2024, whispers grew louder. Keith had quietly moved into his own place. A source told People their lives were moving in different directions. It felt like the writing was on the wall. Nicole didn't give up. She believed, truly, that their love could survive anything. She had fought through heartbreak before. She wasn't ready to lose again. Then came the truth that shattered everything. A close family source revealed that Keith hadn't been honest. Details remain private, but for Nicole the betrayal was profound. She filed for divorce on September 30, 2024, citing irreconcilable differences. A simple phrase hiding immeasurable pain. Music lowers, solemn. "Nicole is hurt and feels betrayed," said one insider. She wanted to save the marriage and believed she could. But it seems Keith had already moved on. The world was stunned. The golden couple gone. And yet, amid the heartbreak, Nicole handled everything with quiet dignity. She didn't lash out. She didn't assign blame. She moved forward, gently, gracefully, like someone who had learned how to walk through pain. Sources revealed she leaned on her sister, Antonia Kidman, who became her emotional anchor. The two were seen walking together in Nashville days after the news broke. No red carpets, no makeup, no facade. Just family. Her daughters, Sunday and Faith, became her reason to breathe. Nicole made sure they stayed surrounded by love, and far from the glare of media frenzy. And though she rarely spoke publicly, her silence said everything. During her Vogue interview that August, recorded just weeks before the split, Nicole had already hinted at heartbreak. She said, "How many times do you have to be taught that you think you know where your life is going, and then it isn't going in that direction?" Those words now feel hauntingly prophetic. Her friends described her as heartbroken but calm. "She's surprisingly level-headed," one source said. "Now that it's out, she's focused on what's ahead, and her girls. And that's exactly what she did. While Keith retreated into privacy, Nicole turned her pain into purpose, the way only the strongest do. The woman who rose again. By October, Nicole Kidman was already rebuilding her life. A source close to her said, "She isn't someone who dwells on regrets. She believes everything happens for a reason." Back in Nashville, she surrounded herself with family and work. She returned to filming, to charity events, to the simple rhythm of everyday life. Her work became her sanctuary again, with Scarpetta, Margot's Got Money Troubles, and Big Little Lies Season 3 in motion. Nicole posted a single caption on Instagram, "Grateful for the magic that never fades." It was more than a movie wrap. It was her new chapter. In early October, Nicole appeared at Paris Fashion Week, her first major appearance since the divorce. She was joined by her daughters Sunday and Faith and her niece Lucia. 3 generations of Kidman women walking tall, heads high. To everyone watching, it wasn't just fashion. It was strength. Her sister Antonia, described as her rock, continued to support her daily. The Kidman family rallied together, proving once again that love doesn't disappear. It simply changes shape. Then came Nicole's Harper's Bazaar interview, where she shared what may be her most personal truth. No matter how painful or how devastating something is, there's a way through. You have to feel it. It'll feel insurmountable. But if you move gently and slowly, it passes. Those words, pure poetry born from pain, became her new philosophy. Today at 58, Nicole Kidman stands as proof that heartbreak doesn't define you. Healing does. She is still one of the world's most talented actresses, a devoted mother, and a woman who chose peace over bitterness. Her days are simpler now, quiet mornings, time in her garden, laughter with her daughters. A friend said, "She's rediscovered joy in the small things. She laughs more now." Maybe that's what strength looks like. Not forgetting the pain, but learning to live beautifully despite it. And so, as this chapter closes, Nicole Kidman's story reminds us of something timeless. That love can end, but life goes on. That heartbreak can break you, or build you. And that even after loss, the light always finds its way back. Because when one love fades, another begins. The love you find in yourself. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because even in the heartbreaks of the stars, there's a piece of all of us.